When I was younger and a teenager, I was about twice my size. And I was diagnosed with PCOS. Being told you can't have your own kids was huge. And I didn't want to be the heavy girl. Right then and there, I decided to change my life. I would have breakfast, I would have lunch, and I skipped dinner. I started running then. And I ended up, losing weight. I was a good maybe like 120 pounds. I was in really great shape. But then when I stopped lifting weight and I was like, hey, the scale's going down. Who needs to lift weight? I mean, I know now it's all muscle loss. Just didn't realize how weak I was. And then all of a sudden, I wasn't able to move my body to the point where Craig had to spoon feed me because I couldn't even. It's like my brain wouldn't work. Like I wanted to lift the spoon, but I couldn't.
And we are live. Maria, how you doing this fine day?
I'm doing amazing. Amazing. Like really good. I found my joy.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Have you been doing any scouting yet?
Well, here's the thing. We have a lot of land and we never had a four-wheeler or ATV, none of that. So we finally have one of those. So it makes, we have trails now. So it's kind of different. I'm used to just dragging it out myself. We usually cut it up in the woods and bring it out. This is going to be like way easier, I think.
Yeah, having a four-wheeler or side-by-side is a game changer. I don't have one, but everybody that I hunt with does. So I'm always the guy like mooching everybody else's.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a game changer for sure.
Well, we live in the St. Croix River Valley. So my last year, I got so excited, I kicked him up and he went up this ravine and he fell in this V. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. So I've learned patience and I built a lot of strength that day.
Yeah. When you're packing something out, like I went elk hunting last year, and the buddy I went with, we got an elk. We shot like 650-yard shot, and he went down. It was like 10 p.m. at night when we finished butchering him. It was 2 a.m. when we got back to the house. But it was a crazy 3-mile hike in. I mean, just totally kicked my butt. But yeah, you got to be in shape to do that kind of hunting for sure.
I love it.
For sure. So speaking of getting in shape, you were on a quest to build. And to be totally honest, I have not consumed. I'm terrible at consuming. I'm a post and ghost guy on social. But I know you posted a few things. You tagged me in a few things. So just bring me up to speed. What do you got cooking right now there?
Yeah, I'm just sick of my whole life. The past, 15 years, we adopted kids. Craig got sick. He works with me, so I was afraid about our business, stressing out. I wrote 3 books in a year, and it was just, I put my health aside, and I didn't realize how detrimental it was getting, and I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to be the person that people are like, oh, look how skinny she is. I'm over it. I'm going to start treating my body like the machine that it is, that it deserves. And I've never once sat down to a meal at home.
Yeah.
At Christmas, Thanksgiving, I'll sit down for that. But at home, I'll take a bite, do the dishes, take a bite, do the laundry. But it had to be that way. It really did. We homeschool kids. Craig was bedridden for a while. It was a lot. That's an excuse, but it's changing now. And I got to tell you, the biggest shock is I used to lift weights a lot. I was featured in Muscle and Fitness magazine, not for my body comp, but for my recipes. Okay. But I also was very ripped at that moment. And I have a picture of me flexing with the magazine that I was in. And I'm so shocked. It's only been 2 weeks and I can lift what I did 10 years ago. It came back boom. I couldn't believe it. As long as I gave myself enough nutrition. Because I was still kind of dabbling in lifting, but I wasn't consuming nearly what I consume now. And I just didn't realize what that was doing to me.
So bring the listeners up to speed. So if you were to map out a timeline of your life, health, body composition, what would that look like from the beginning to now, roughly?
When I was younger and a teenager, I was about twice my size, and I was diagnosed with PCOS and all these other ailments. And instead of taking the drugs they gave me, I decided, no, I'm going to look into what causes PCOS because, like, being told you can't have your own kids was huge. And I didn't want to be the heavy girl. I remember this guy, this teenager in the high school library said, fat girl in a little coat because it didn't fit me.
Hmm.
And so it was like right then and there, I decided to change my life. And little did I know how important or like effective intermittent fasting was, but I would have breakfast, I would have lunch, and I skipped dinner. Um, it was very effective. I started running then, and I ended up, losing weight. I was a good maybe like 120 pounds, looked healthy. Um, I was married before I could legally drink alcohol. We adopted kids. Craig got sick. Um, at that point, before we were adopting, or when we were, I was doing in body pump. Do you know that class?
Hmm.
Like the YMCA. I loved it. Like I had all my friends were there. It was like a big hangout, and then we would go have tea afterwards. It was super fun. But I never missed a class. Like I would forego like going on vacation just because I didn't want to miss a class because I just loved it.
And
Um,
what age was that time frame going down?
um, 30.
That was all you'd been doing, like carnivore at that point, right? Like you'd been doing intermittent fasting in the
Oh,
beginning.
I'm sorry. I've been keto since, for 28 and a half years now. So at like 16, that's when I started cutting out carbohydrates, sugar. Did I call it keto then? No, it was like Atkins, right?
Hmm.
But it worked. It worked great. Um, and I lost the weight, and then I started lifting weights and running. I did marathons before I had kids, and they're now 15, 16, and 14. Um, so I was in really great shape at that point. But then when everything was kind of like crumbling, I stopped lifting weight and I was like, hey, the scale's going down. Who needs to lift weights anymore, right? Like, this is great. Little, I mean, I know now it's all muscle loss. Uh,
Hmm.
I even lost the muscle in my face because, you know, your heart is always turning over, your liver's always turning over. And if you're not consuming enough protein, it's going to take your muscles and use it to repair parts of your body. So I just didn't honor what my body needed. I regret it big time. Um, I was talking to my kids about what I'm going through, and I'm like, yeah, you know how mom lost a lot of weight, and my youngest is like, yeah. So it's not an overnight process. It was years to get to the point that I was, but I just didn't realize how weak I was. Um, and I never want to get there. What happened was, this past February, um, it's not sick. It's not bad to get sick. The flu happens, right? Illness, colds happen. So my kids got the flu, and then I got the flu, and it went away, but I was really nauseous. Like my favorite foods I didn't like. And then all of a sudden, like I wasn't able to move my body to the point where Craig had to spoon feed me because I couldn't even. I couldn't. It's like my brain wouldn't work. Like I wanted to lift the spoon, but I couldn't. So I laid in bed and he fed me. I ended up in the ICU 3 times. Massive electrolyte imbalance. I mean, things were just shutting down. And that wasn't on purpose. I was so sick. And like Craig said, you didn't have a reserve.
Yeah.
Most people have a buffer. It's like you had nothing and got to a really low weight. Um, but what's really twisted is like, even though I was sick, it was a high. And when I say that, I've said it on my YouTube video about it. So many people reached out. They're like, it is a high. No matter what, like it's such a high to see that number go down. And I'm determined to make it a high to see it go up. I have my favorite clothes hanging. So, I mean, I do think like the scale is data. I get it. So I do use that, but it's not my high anymore. Um, I like the data, and then I go and try on a shirt that I'd never wear because it was low cut and you can see all my bones. And so still to this day, I'll try it on and be like, that number is too low, right? So I just keep going and feeding myself well. And I appreciate everybody's kindness because I didn't realize so many people would be so awesome and reaching out and realizing that a lot of people in this community deal with the same thing.
A lot of people, and it's not nearly talked about enough. There's like this taboo around it. It's super common in like bodybuilding circles. I mean, it's more often the case than not that competitive athletes have, issues with this post show. I mean, I had all kinds of issues post show for the first 3 or 4 years of my competitive journey. And it's taken me a long time to overcome all that. When it comes to you, like you're using the scale for data, which I think is absolutely the right way to look at it. Like it's not a good or bad thing. It's just simply a data point that you can leverage. What were you at your lowest? Did you weigh in then?
Yeah. 83 pounds,
83 pounds. And how tall are you?
5'2".
5'2". My grandmother, I just talked to her yesterday. It was her birthday yesterday. I think she turned
Oh,
86. And she's like been losing weight in an unhealthy rate because she just doesn't eat enough. And my mom is now keto carnivore. She's been there for 3 years now, and like she'll go over there, cook her a bunch of food, and talked to her last night. And she's up to 115 now because she had got down to 100. And she's tall, like she's taller than me,
yeah.
but she's just lost a whole bunch of weight, and you could just see
Yeah.
she has no buffer, no reserve, no energy to do, just day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
So she's on the same quest, and it's cool to see her get excited about the scale going up. I mean, people always associate, like on social media could be a double-edged sword for sure, as you and I both know, but like it's in the bodybuilding realm, people only post when they're shredded. They only post when the scale hits a new low, when their body fat's leaner. And it's like there's a yin yang that has to happen here. In order to optimize for one, you got to optimize for the other. So like people need to appreciate the other side of the spectrum just as much because it's equally, if not more so important.
Well, especially females, we're not meant to be that low body fat. We're just
Yeah.
not. If like when things are shutting down and not working anymore, that means it's your body's shutting down. It's telling you something's wrong when it's not working the way it should. And I just I want people to feel okay to eat. You know what's so funny? Like I was so hungry. I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would sleep lying face down, curled up in a ball to make the hunger stop. Like how pathetic is that?
Mm-hmm.
And as hungry as I was, I didn't enjoy food as much as I am now. And
Yeah.
I'm not one to reverse diet and eat donuts, or I know there's people that do that. I don't even crave that stuff anymore. Um, but the food I am making, like I have like a steak and scallops ready when I'm done with this. Um, I enjoy it so much. It's like I wasn't allowing myself to even enjoy that flavor or
Yeah.
something. I don't know what the twistedness is.
So I know this is a sensitive subject, so don't feel like you have to discuss anything you don't want to. But a lot of people, especially on social, I mean, you get a lot of positive comments and feedback and support and encouragement, but people can also be brutal and just ruthless. Were you getting like a lot of commentary around like disordered eating or anorexia, or like how
I
did you respond
stopped.
to any of that?
Yeah, I stopped. Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. I stopped being in charge of my social media when the comments were starting to roll in, maybe a couple years ago. So there's one of my coaches, she handles everything. So I don't even look at comments anymore, but it's almost hard not to see them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it for those people. Those
Yeah.
people can go, like, they don't know me. They don't know the struggles I deal with. They like they can go away. That's not why I'm doing it. What happened was I walk with a friend, and she doesn't have social media. She wouldn't wear dyed clothes. Like, she's a super hippie. Like, I love her dearly. She's the biggest carnivore I know, healthiest carnivore. And I told her about the story, what happened in February. And with tears going down her face, she's like, "Do you want to die?" And it like hit me like, I am totally killing myself. And that was the day.
Yeah.
That was the day it changed.
What
Yeah.
do you think the like your relationship with food, your consumption in general, like do you think that was like the disordered eating, or do you think you were simply like eating the right foods but you were just sick and so stressed that your body wasn't absorbing ample nutrition? Like what do you think was happening
I was
there?
eating the right foods, but it was also my control. My life was out of control, right? Like, I couldn't get Craig healthy. I couldn't, like, you know, I love my children. But being thrown into a world where these two little, like, creatures need you all the time is like, whoa, like, it was a lot, right? And I think that was the only thing I could control. So that's what I controlled, you know? I don't even think it was about anything else but control.
Yeah. It's tough. Like Crystal we just had a second kid, 2 weeks ago. And
Oh,
like
I
she's
didn't know that. Congratulations.
yeah, appreciate it. And she's like always been super fit and trains and done powerlifting and bodybuilding. And like she hasn't been able to work out like she normally does for the past, several weeks. And like she's recovering right now and just now cleared to like walk and go out and be more mobile.
Yeah.
And like for us, training and subjecting our body to stressors like that is like our therapy. Like that is literally, health for us, mentally healthy. And when you're a mother, as she is and as you are, it's like it's so easy to be incredibly selfless because so many people need things from you. I mean, I don't know how she does it. Like she's got a baby in one arm. She's tackling my son Rigel, who's 3 years old, just all over the place, ballistic, and like trying to keep on top of the house and cooking and cleaning. And it's like the working out and sitting down and having your own hot meal. Like that's just like not even on your radar.
That's when I stopped. That's when I stopped sitting and having a meal, because we're getting a little personal here, but like, my children were starving in Ethiopia. They literally were starving. So when food came, my older one would get really happy about meals, and the younger one would scream for more, just like scream. And it was so stressful. And I had to teach this child that food will always be there. But he would eat so much he'd puke. Like, so I stopped sitting down to have a meal. And that was a very, very pivotal moment. And he is like the light of my life now. But when he was a baby, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's the best kid ever. He's the one that does a lot of my taste testing.
Yeah, I see all the pictures. They're always, I mean, they make your food look all the better. They've always got a big smile on their face for sure.
Thank you. Yeah. But it is very hard to be a mother. And now that my kids are teens, I mean, I want to live to see their kids. And like you said, therapy, like getting in the gym is my joy. Like, I feel awesome. I just feel just better than I ever have. But then again, I can't please everybody because, oh, you're working out too much. Well, like, do you see what I'm doing every day? Like, you have no idea. It's just when I post a picture or a video where I'm wearing a weighted vest, like, less is more. I'm like, I went to college for exercise physiology. Did you know that? I know my stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need your feedback. I understand. And I'm gaining healthy weight, not just muscle. There's some fat going on too. Don't worry about it. But it's like always something critical. It drives me nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't make everybody happy and you'll kill yourself trying. And like, at the end of the day, because I mean, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm on stage. Like, that's a very selfish sport, so to speak. I mean, like when I'm in prep, like I, Crystal has to sacrifice a lot when I'm in prep. And that's kind of the extreme, but it's easy, especially as a mother, to think, okay, I'm going to be the most selfless person possible, help my kids first and foremost, make sure they've got everything they need. But then it becomes very easy to like not, do what you need for yourself, not train, not eat. And like I've had to figure out my mental approach to that for myself, but then also help Crystal with it. And it's like, the better you are, I mean, you don't need to be in the gym for 6 hours and like doing all that stuff, but like prioritizing your health, having that time set aside, carved out where you have non-negotiables to focus on improving you is going to make you so much better for everybody else. And at the end of the day, I view it as the most selfless option if it's done with the right intentions.
They tell you to put your mask on first on a plane for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And even to this day, were you at Meat Stock?
This past year or this year, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see me?
Yeah, I think we ran into each other briefly.
I was cooking the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw you for a very little time. But if you go to the like speaker cabin, they didn't have enough cooks. So I was cooking. And then by the time I was done cooking, they were out of food. Like, that's just how I am. I want to make sure everybody's okay. But at this point, I make sure, like you said, carve out time. I'm like you. I love getting up early. I'm up before 4 a.m. It's because I have that quiet time. My teenagers, it's summertime. They're not up till like 9:30, right? So I have all that time. And Craig's a night owl too. So I don't watch TV at bedtime. I'd rather go to bed, by 7:30 and be up at 3:30. Like, I just love it. And then I have all that time to, we're writing a book too, but write, work out, do the red light. I haven't gotten into sauna again yet because my electrolytes were so low. That's kind of how it spiraled. But I just love that time. And then I'm ready for them when they get up. And I'm like, what do you need? And I'm there for them the whole time.
That's the way to do it for sure. So, getting into the nuts and bolts, what are you doing now to put on the healthy weight? Like, how does that look? What's changed? What's the goal? How's that looking?
Like the people ask me what my goal is, and my goal is like, first of all, to just never not prioritize myself and never be hungry like I was, and just make sure to eat meals. What's hard is like now that I've gained since my lowest, I'm at like 14 pounds up from that. My hunger has gone down extremely, right? So I have to make sure, you have to eat, because you get busy and whatever, you forget, slip back into the same routine as earlier. But I make sure, like, I don't know if you think this is too much. I'm not like sweating in the gym, but I just like to get in there and I switch off leg day, upper body, lower body, because I am about routine. I don't want to go every other day. I want to go every day. So we just have a garage. It's all gym equipment. And so I do upper body one day, lower body the next. And then I'll do like my red light, have breakfast. Sometimes I'll go on a walk, things like that, work. And after work, I'll do another meal, like 3 meals usually a day. I'm not one to eat a lot of food at one time like that. I did OMAD for a while, and I know I lost a lot of muscle mass because I don't like that feeling of, right? So I'd rather do 3 regular sized meals. I'm like a dog. I could eat the same thing every day, but it's much more than what I was doing before. Much more fat than I was doing before. It was a lot of lean proteins. And then I'm also dabbling, and I would love your opinion on this. Like the other day, I was working out, then my friend said, hey, I need your help. So I had to leave without having food available, but I didn't want to ruin my gains. And so someone gave me these amino acids, essential amino acids. So I popped, 5 of those. That's the serving size. Because I didn't want to lose my gains. Is it worth it? Even though my breakfast is like 80 grams of protein. I
Yeah.
eat a lot. Is it worth it if I can't eat that 80 grams around my workouts, even though throughout the day, I certainly get more than what my body needs right now?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to like amino acids, whether it's essential or branch chain, like I don't typically use those unless I'm in a pretty significant deficit going into a prep. Because if you're eating enough total fuel throughout the course of a day, like you've got ample amino acids in circulation that you're not going to be sacrificing any gains. And if you're fat adapted as you are, then the protein's metabolized much slower throughout the course of a day. So like your body's got everything it needs coming in. No need to worry about supplementation in that regard. Are you like tracking your macros and intake and things like that currently?
No,
Just
but
eating intuitively?
it's a lot. Like it's more than what I would ever need. And I just don't want to get into that headspace.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's more than I've ever eaten in my life. And I'm just okay with all of it. I don't stress out with the scale like I told you. But there is progress every day. And until it stops working, maybe I'll reassess. And it's funny because when people want to lose, I make them track, right?
Right.
Should be the same. But I'm not in that headspace right now. I don't have that time and it's working. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I feel like, real quick, totally side topic. Are you getting like this weird audio
Yeah.
like buzzing? What in the world is that coming from?
I thought it was you.
Oh, thanks.
It's better now.
I have no idea where that's coming from. Maybe my guy can fix that in post because it's kind of distracting. Yeah, I mean, like when I'm in a prep, when I'm cutting down, I'm tracking everything to the gram. Like I've got it all dialed in. When I'm in a building phase, like I'm currently tracking everything.
Right.
But
But when you are done with your prep and your competition, don't you just do a relaxed phase and just no?
not initially. Like after the competition, I'll typically go to Brazilian steakhouse and I'll just eat a lot for that one, very finite period of time. And then I'll get back on track and then kind of like slowly reverse diet up. Because like when you're dieting down, same thing is true with you whether you're competing or not. But like when you were eating less, as you know, your metabolism down regulates. So to build that back up, it's kind of counterintuitive, but you got to eat more. And then your hunger is actually going to ramp up as your metabolism also increases. And a lot of competitors post show like your leptin and ghrelin is totally out of whack. So that it's hard for them to eat intuitively because intuition says to eat ad nauseum. And they can, put on unnecessary body fat in that context, which I've done before as well. So I'll kind of like stair step my increase upwards gradually,
Yeah.
establish my new maintenance intake, and then in a building phase, try and be slightly above that. So I've gone through building periods where I would just eat intuitively, knowing that I was consuming, at a surplus. But I like tracking. It doesn't really negatively impact me because I've done it for so long. And everyone's going to have a different relationship with that. So you got to kind of feel yourself out on that. But a lot of people that are trying to build are eating more than they were, and they know they're eating more, but they may still not be eating enough. And I don't know what your intake is. Maybe you're totally eating enough.
It's enough. Like I'm kind of recording it on YouTube so people can see what I'm eating in a day. And again, there's criticism, whatever. Like just drink the heavy cream. Like you said, I'm not interested in gaining 20 pounds of fat.
Yeah.
I want a good body comp, which is all about longevity, feeling great. I don't want to feel like I did when I was a kid. I felt awful. Like, why would I want to? Nobody wants to do that when they build. So I understand I'm going to gain fat. I'm totally okay with that. But I do prioritize building muscle. And that's my goal. I posted a picture of that Muscle and Fitness magazine yesterday on Instagram. And I was like, that's my goal, to get back to that because I felt great. I had energy.
What did you weigh in that picture? Do you remember?
I don't.
Yeah, you look good. I saw a picture. You had, triceps were popping and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think I was like 100 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 103. So that's less than 10 pounds away. But right now I'm not as built as I was. Like when I was going through all this, I have all this energy, right? So I'm like cleaning the house and like going to Goodwill, like get it out. And so I'm trying on clothes because I don't want to keep stuff that's so tight. I'm going to get depressed when I I don't fit in this anymore. So I'm getting rid of these pants and they're really tight. I was like, these fit perfect when I was, 10 years ago. But my body comp changed definitely. Like I'm definitely more flabby down there where my nickname was Thunder Thighs when I was a kid. Like I can squat like no other. I'll take you on, but just kidding. I need to get back definitely, even though I can lift a lot more than I ever thought I could. What came right back. My body comp is definitely different. So just getting back to that too, and already like my face is filled out some. It's getting there, but not fully. My question is, what do you think about like beta alanine before?
Like as a pre-workout, you could do it. I mean, I don't do any pre-workouts. I just take coffee and electrolytes. I know you don't do coffee though. But you could do do you do any caffeine, like caffeine pills or something?
I was always very sensitive to caffeine. It would make me almost want to puke because I don't know if it was affecting my blood sugar, which it does. Caffeine does.
Yeah.
But I get very nauseous with it. So I've tried, someone's like, well, try yerba mate. And so I did, and that seems fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering if it's affecting my sleep a little bit because I don't sleep as well now. I used to sleep really good, but I was probably so exhausted.
Yeah.
Now, like, ooh, I have all this, like, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to take a stimulant by any means. I mean, there's times where I'll train totally fasted without any caffeine whatsoever. I don't do a pre-workout. I'll just have a cup of coffee with some heavy cream prior to training. That's typically my go-to, but I'm not doing any amino acids or beta alanine or anything like that pre-workout. And honestly, like you're eating like a creme de la creme diet. Like you're going to have steak and scallops after this. Like you're getting all the nutrition you need. So people way overthink supplementation around training. You don't need a pre-workout, post-workout, peri-workout. I mean, I would recommend electrolytes. Like I'll typically drink electrolytes before training and then intra-workout.
Yeah.
And then I'll eat a meal within a few hours of training. But sometimes, depending on the day, like I won't eat until the evening and I train in the morning. So
oh, and you still have those gains.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I'm in a building phase, especially at a caloric surplus, then I'm getting all the nutrition I need so I can have a pretty significant window of fasting post-workout before I eat, and there's no issues there. Yeah, no stress. I used to be super worried about that, like in my pre-keto days. Like if I didn't have a protein shake immediately after working out, it's all for naught.
It's totally different for us, right? It's totally different. You're not doing the carbs. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, so I honestly wouldn't waste the money on the beta alanine or
I didn't. It was given to me, right? And then like, oh, promote us. I'm like, oh, geez. So I just wanted your opinion because I'm not an expert. I did take the beta alanine this morning and I was just tingling all over. I don't know if I like that feeling.
Yeah, I do not. So I mean, that's the main reason I don't do it. And some people like it. Like they'll take a, crazy caffeination, 400 milligrams pre-workout with a bunch of beta alanine and arginine, and feels like their skin's, crawling. I hate that. So I don't do that at all. Yeah. Have you gotten any like DEXA scans or anything, body composition scans to kind of see progress over time, changes in bone density, lean tissue, all that jazz?
No, I haven't. I am not one to go to a doctor. I mean, I should. I have like a bioelectrical impedance, but I know the issues with that because my oldest one doesn't like to drink a lot of liquids, especially like wakes up, he's super dehydrated. He jumped on there and said it's 4% body fat, which he's not. He is ripped, but he's not 4. And then my other one chugged a bunch of water and he jumped on there and he was like 25%, which he's not. Yeah. So it's just like you could totally manipulate them. And I don't
for sure. There's a lot of variables like that. I mean, it's bioelectrical impedance measuring. The water fluctuation is going to have a massive impact. I've got one of those too, and I've always said, okay, if I just wake up and use it in the morning as like a baseline, even if it's inaccurate, if those variables are somewhat controlled, you can see trends over time.
Yeah, no, like my body fat percentage was super low earlier, but that's just because I was just skin and bones. And I even like the bones in my face, like I look very different. I'm sure I lost a lot of bone mass, and I just don't know why like we put ourselves through that. Like the pressure. And I mean, say what you want about Liver King, but it is hard to be in the public eye. It's very hard, you know? And I just wish people would give me a little grace, give others a little grace. And I'm just here to tell everybody it's okay to eat, and you should.
It is totally okay to eat. I mean, yeah, Liver King's an interesting example, but that is a perfect illustration of the pressure from the public, especially when your identity's wrapped up into it. Like, if you put too much emphasis on what the public thinks, you
Right.
can lose sight of yourself.
Right.
And that's a scary place to be. And society is like, they put so much pressure on women, especially, but like people in general, like to look a certain way all the time. And like for me, I got down crazy shredded in 2023 when I did my 5 shows. I got down to like 3.9% body fat. I had all these great pictures taken. I was documenting all that. Became the leanest man alive for that point in time. And it's easy to think like that's how I'm supposed to look all the time, but that's not healthy. Like, I would not be able to get better year after year if I didn't give myself more time in a surplus than in a deficit, focusing on building muscle, because it takes longer to build muscle than lose fat. So it's like, if I want to get better than that, I've got to embrace, putting on some body fat, filling out, having rounder cheeks. And I don't like it as much, but it's the yin and the yang, and you got to have both.
Well, that's why I fell in love with your wife when I met her at KetoCon, maybe 10 plus years ago. And she talked about her journey. And I was like, wow, like nobody talks about this. And I went up to your booth and I gave her a hug. And I was like, it was a lot. And I loved her for being so open and honest. And I'm just sick of the scrutiny. And if I have to, like, I don't know, not look at what people say again, I'm okay with that. But
yeah,
it's been nothing but kindness, a little bit of criticism about my workouts and stuff. But other than that, really kind people.
Yeah, I think by and large, people are very, especially in this community, like there's way more positivity than negativity. That's why I'm such a fan of this keto carnivore community as a whole, because I feel like for the majority of the people, they're in there for the right reasons. They've experienced a profound health improvement. They just want to be in the space, helping others, be an encouragement, learning. And it's just an awesome space to be in. But yeah, people online, and we get it with the keto bricks too. Like, people are just ruthless towards the keto bricks. The vast majority of people love them, but then you get people in there just throwing shade, and it's like, why is that?
Don't go there. Like, it's okay. Oh, move on.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about, like, you got down to 3.5% body fat. Did people give you crap? If a woman does, women do not support women. Let's just put that out there, because if you were doing the same thing I'm doing, like, nobody's going to rip you apart. But as a female, we judge them differently. We criticize them differently. We have different expectations. Granted, yes, of course, a guy can get down to that much body fat, but like Thomas DeLauer, all he talks about is how to burn fat and how I get shredded and all this. If a female does that, she's going to get ripped apart. Like, you're too skinny and gain some fat. And
yeah, there's definitely a double standard for females. But honestly, that's why I like the performance sector so much more, because like, people respect performance more so than composition, I think, in a lot of ways. Like, if you, for instance, using you as an example, like, you can look whatever you want to look like, but if you're able to do something impressive from a physical performance standpoint, that's like not subjective, it's like objective truth. Like, who can say anything? Like, you're doing it, you're killing it. I mean, kind of like when you kill a deer, you got this super impressive trophy buck. It's like, anybody that's throwing shade, like, they're just mad because they don't have a deer that big on the wall,
Yeah. No, it is what it is. I'm here and I'm not going away. I'm not giving up, because I've done this many times. Like, I try, and then a lot of it goes to my belly area. It's like, oh, I feel like I'm pregnant. and I want to quit then, right? It doesn't distribute yet, but it's like, a weekend. But the way I feel now, the stronger I get every day, like there's no going back. Like
Yeah.
there's no going back.
Yeah, it is tough. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Like when I'm in the building phase and I'm putting on body fat and I'm seeing the definition decrease, the vascularity is not there anymore. The scale's increasing. Like, and I get clients that come all day long because I talk about reverse dieting a lot, how to do it the right way, because a lot of people need that, whether they compete or not. And it's a very hard sell for me as a coach because, like, a lot of women, especially, they'll have been, under eating for 10, 20 years. Will need to increase their intake, increase their metabolic rate, and that oftentimes comes with some initial body fat and weight increase. And they're coming to me wanting to lose weight. And I'm like, look, what you've done for the last 20 years hasn't worked. Your metabolism is downregulated, your hormones are shot, and you don't feel great. Your sleep is poor. Like, this is kind of taking, one step back to take 10 steps forward, and it's going to be hard psychologically, but it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of the life. I mean, it's not that big of a time commitment when you look at it big picture, but it's so worth it. And it's hard. Like, it's hard when the seatbelt gets a little tighter around your waist, and it always goes to the waist first. Like, that's just how it happens. But I always tell people, focus more so on the performance markers. Like, if your weight's going up, but your lifts are going up, if you're able to, like, objectively point to something and say, okay, I've got more energy, I've got better sleep quality, I'm recovering better from my workouts, like, all of those are massive improvements, and you can't take them for granted.
Yeah. Everything's a benefit. So far, like, everything is just a win. So I'll take the belly over the wins. It's everything's a win. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see the journey unfold. You document it, being transparent with it. And I mean, I think the world of you. I got utmost respect for you. I've seen you at multiple conferences. We've shared dinner together multiple times. I mean, I'm on your side all the way, and want you to prove the haters wrong, and want you to do it for your own. More importantly, I want to do it for your own self. I want you to reach the best health you can.
It is for me, and that's why, like, my husband's like, I should have been more strict, and, like, just made me do it. I was like, you can't help an alcoholic. Like, you can't just tell him you can't have alcohol anymore. Like, I had to want it, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, you almost died. He would even, a month ago, he would lay in bed like, when is it going to happen next?
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't have a reserve. And he just, like, I sleep so much better now knowing that you're going to be okay.
This, I mean, it's interesting because he's just come through a pretty significant health crisis. You're coming out of it.
Yep.
You were doctoring him and he was doctoring you. Like, how has that dynamic impacted y'all's relationship overall? Like, it's got to be, I mean, y'all got to be like freaking glued to each other now.
Yeah. He's been my parents never thought I'd get married because I'm very independent. I'm totally happy being all by myself. I'm definitely an introvert. Doesn't mean I don't like people. It just means I have joy just being in the woods by myself, on the paddleboard by myself. And so they never thought I'd get married. And here I am getting married. I was age 20. And we've been married for 24 years now. And he's just like my best friend. He's like the nicest person you'll ever meet. So patient. He's like the best father. So are you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, my kids go to him if they need something. He's just very calm. He doesn't get upset. Where I'm like, hey, kids, why don't you ask me? They're like, yeah, you have like, you're just not always calm. And I'm like, oh, okay. I have emotions. So.
Yeah. It's cool when you get some. I mean, 24 years is impressive. You don't see a lot of that these days. Everyone I know seems to be getting a divorce, and it's cool when I'm talking to people that have been in a relationship that's healthy for so long, and it's like they just grow stronger and stronger over time. And it's like, I mean, what else could you ask for in life? To have somebody you can go through life with hand in hand.
So much. Like, the adoption was so tough, and his illness, like, and me, and it's just like we've been through so much, and I'm just really grateful. Picked a good one.
You did. Well, apart from getting jacked, what else is in the horizon for you? You said you're writing a book, another book. This is going to be a book like what, 57?
Well, here's the thing. Like my publisher, they brought me into Costco. That's how Halle Berry found me. So I don't feel bad about that. However, publishers do take a lot. They take everything, right? The majority of it. And I know so much more from, this is the keto book. That's an educational book. Craig and I know so much more than we did then. And it's not that this is outdated. We just know more. And so we want to do a self-published book of everything that we know. Kind of like this comprehensive, like the art of, I don't know what we're going to call it, but just everything that we know. I know so much about menopause now and how that changes everything.
Have you talked about that much, like on podcasts or anything, menopause?
Not really. I mean, I've interviewed the experts, but I don't. I just think that women don't realize how important estrogen is to not only your bones, but your arteries start to stiffen. This is why heart disease is the number one killer of women. Because at meat stocks, someone, I won't say who, one of the doctors like, oh, I went through menopause and I didn't have any symptoms and I'm not on HRT. You don't need to do it either or whatever. It's nature. It's like, if you look at all of our ancient civilizations, they all did some sort of natural HRT with herbs and this and that. Every single one. And your arteries stiffen, even if you're eating carnivore. It's just the fact. If you don't have estrogen, that's just what happens. Your brain starts to deteriorate, so you get Alzheimer's, dementia, UTIs. That's just low estrogen. And we would save, I looked this up, we would save 6 to 22 billion, anywhere in there, every year if medical doctors would use a topical vaginal estrogen to stop the UTIs. But no, we give them antibiotics instead. But I'm very passionate about it because you become, like I said, more insulin resistant. You're sensitive to caffeine, alcohol, carbs like you weren't before. The sleep issues that happen and how to fix those. I think HRT is a godsend to women.
Yeah, I've had multiple podcasts on HRT, TRT, both male and female lately. And, I'm 33, natural bodybuilding, so I haven't really done any of it myself. But like the more guests I have on the show that are experts in that field, it's like that definitely is just becoming the standard for the masses going forward. I mean, do you think there's like a use case where it wouldn't really, I mean, because you and I are like keto carnivore, we're in the science for technology, but we're also kind of like returning to ancestral eating. And like, so I have like this purist appreciation for just letting the body run its natural course as well and not trying to live forever. But like, there's like a tipping point in there somewhere,
We're living longer than we ever have before. So if we're living half our life in a postmenopausal life, we deserve to feel well. I won't get into it, but my grandma died because of issues from what they prescribed to her when she had menopause. She took her life. So we deserve to feel better. Like how in perimenopause, your estrogen's going to go from like 50 to 1,000 and back down within a minute. Like you're going to be crazy. You're going to feel unlike yourself. And granted, I do believe food can help you calm them, but I also have seen people on a good diet having those up and down swings. It's just like your body's trying to get your ovaries to speak again, and they're not going to. And so it's like, it's like going crazy. I also wanted to tell you, I'm very grateful you said something about electrolytes, that you do those, because I get very frustrated when these people into the ancestral things say, oh, you don't need electrolytes. Look at, the ancestral people. They don't. That's how I ended up in the emergency room, because I didn't focus on my electrolytes. I needed them. I was losing them. They weren't there anymore. And I think it's very important to focus on that. Granted, the more like some of those carnivore influencers, they don't drink liquids, so then they don't need sodium. But
People are kind of weird in the carnivore space too. Like there's some extremists that are like,
dogmatic.
yes, like, look, if you're trying to optimize human performance, you need electrolytes, period, cut and dry. And like,
I feel
I
so much
get
better
the,
with them.
yeah, and I get the ancestral argument, but it's like, you're not really comparing apples to apples because so much of what would naturally be in the food that we eat and the water we consume is now stripped out of it. So like, you can't really even use that argument.
Right. Are you drinking blood? Like there's this one carnivore, I won't say who it is, but she loves to eat blood sausage. I'm like, that's because you don't eat sodium. There's sodium in the blood sausage. Like,
Mhm.
I got to run with the Maasai tribe 3 years ago, and they drink the blood. Like they live ancestral. We
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I totally hijacked what you were saying there. So, where were we talking about the HRT?
Oh,
And
yeah.
then talking about your book too.
Yeah, you were saying, is it right for everybody, or is this the case? Someone that has had a cancer diagnosis that has been uh, an estrogen dominant type cancer, then I would, would recommend it. But again, that would be their choice. And me knowing the benefits outweighs that risk. And even that's not even a risk. But if I had cancer, I probably would want to still do the HRT. But I don't know. I think it's important for women to talk to their daughters or granddaughters or nieces when they are young 20s, very sexual and feeling great, and get a baseline level of their hormones then. Because what makes me feel great is not what's going to make my sister feel great. Our levels are completely different, right? So we don't know. It's a guessing game unless you know what they were in their 20s, which most people don't. So it is a guessing game, and to be aware that your hormones start to lower 10 years before menopause, even if you eat carnivore. So being aware of that and being on top of it, if it's right for you, starting beforehand is very helpful, and it's been a game changer for me.
Yeah, makes total sense. When's your next retreat? You got one of those in the pipeline?
I do. Someone asked me to do a retreat in India.
Nice.
So we're doing a keto retreat in India. And I'm like, everybody says India's life changing. So let's go. I'm not looking forward to my flight because I'm flying from Hawaii. And when I looked up flight options, it took me both ways. It's pretty much a horse apiece. I could either go through Europe or Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
No,
far.
India's cool. Somebody emailed me the other day, earlier this week, and we're sending him a bunch of bricks because we're like sponsoring him. He just got diagnosed with cancer, and he's going like terminal cancer, and he's going to run the length of India from the topmost peak to the bottommost peak. He's going to eat like a brick because he's like, I think he's bringing all of his food with him. But he's like running it over the course of 80 days or whatever. But I'm like, man, I'm going to have him on the podcast too. So I'm excited to hear his story. But like India, I don't know that much about India, but I'm going to have to learn what this whole running endeavor is. So India would be a pretty awesome place for a retreat too.
I just love to see the more places I go, the more people I meet, the more I realize we're all the same. We're all like striving for keep our family safe and healthy and feed our family. And I can't get enough of it. I never thought I could afford to travel. So being able to is, I pinch myself, big time. I was going to ask you, what's your favorite flavor of your brick? Because I know that you have different formulations out too. What's your favorite?
Yeah, we got all kinds of ones. We have like some carnivore ones now that are like no dairy. I mean, they're like super clean. I should send you some bricks. That'd be a good way to get some calories in. But yeah, my
I know
favorite
they're made
flavor.
of tallow.
Yeah, we got some tallow ones now. We got like half of them are totally grass finished tallow. The carnivore ones you're using tallow. But we got this. I don't think you do a lot of nut butters, but we got this peanut butter one that we just made from a local peanut butter supplier. We're getting the peanut butter from him. That one's really good. They're all really good. I can't pick one. I like them all.
The only reason I mean, peanuts are technically a legume, but the reason I stopped doing all nuts is I don't know how long ago it was, but I did a lot of almond milk in the past and
Mm-hmm.
almond flour, and I got a kidney stone. I thought I was going to
Yeah,
die. And
yeah.
Craig was sick then, so I was like crawling to the car. He couldn't pick me up. I was like, this is the worst day of my life.
Yeah, I would not want to overdo the oxalates. I'm real good friends with Bill Schindler, and he was talking about like oxalate dumping and like in his eyes and everything. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't want that. But I don't eat that many oxalates. I mean, there's not that many in one
You
brick.
do dairy though too, right?
Yeah, I don't have any issues with dairy. I
Yeah.
don't do a lot of dairy, and I'll do a lot of goat-based dairy as well. I'll do a lot of ghee too, so
Yeah.
like not that much lactose in there, obviously.
That helps with if you do have oxalates, if you're eating
Yeah.
dairy.
But I mean, I don't really have any food sensitivities at all. I just know what I eat, what responds well with me,
Yep.
and it's not carbs. You know, I don't want any carbs. I'm not doing the sugar diet like everybody else right now.
No. How do you feel about like watermelon or something like that?
I mean, I don't eat it. The only fruits, like I don't really eat any fruit. My son Rigel and Crystal, they'll have like some low glycemic berries like raspberries and blackberries and something like that. I don't really do any fruits. I don't do much vegetation either. I'm pretty much like a meat and eggs guy. Meat, eggs, keto brick. That's pretty much my staple. I've been doing a lot of cod liver lately, so I'll get like a can of wild caught Icelandic cod liver, and I'll scramble in some eggs with that, and that's like super high in vitamin A and D.
That sounds
And it tastes really good, so I'll do quite a bit of that. But honestly, I keep my food pretty simple too. Like I don't need a whole lot of
I'm like a
variety.
dog. That's why I'm like, you guys are gonna get really bored of this, but I'll mix it up once in a while. Like the other day, my son Kai, the foodie, he's like, "Can we go get barbecue?" And I was like, "Fine." And so I put it on the video. I was like, I know people are going to criticize me, but I was like, I'm real. I eat barbecue from a restaurant. Like, take it or leave it. So, you know, little mix-ups here and there. But
yeah, I mean, I know you're in the public eye for sure, and people are very judgmental. I get a lot of judgment too, but like, I don't know, the post and ghost thing has worked well for me. And then I honestly just don't really give a shit what other people think. Like, I know that I'm so internally happy and blessed. I've got an amazing wife, amazing sons. I've got a nice little home on a little piece of land. I got a business that I've built from the ground up and a great group of crew members. It's like, what else can I ask for? I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm fulfilled. I go to bed every single night feeling grateful for the life I'm living.
Right.
Nobody online can take that from me, you know?
I feel that now, but I think a month ago, I knew there was a problem. So that's probably why it got to me. You know, I was just in a different space. I knew there was a problem, but I ignored it. And I just felt stuck. I didn't, and I feel that just announcing it was just like,
liberating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes sense. I mean, like, if you feel like something's wrong or you're not living your best self, it's very easy to open the door for criticism and like put stock in that criticism. But like, if you are healthier and better every day and know that you're doing right for you and you're doing it for you, then nothing else matters, you know?
I'm feeling great and I'm just going to keep going. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you at the next event.
When is the next event that we'll both be at? I'll be at, are you going to go to Low Carb for Better Health in September?
It's Craig.
He's going to be there. Okay, so I'll see him there. And then I'll be at Hack Your Health in November. You'd be
I
going
was asked not to speak though.
Not to speak then? That'll be the first time you haven't spoken, right?
She asked me, I said, hey, you know, people are asking if I'm speaking. She's like, no, you're not. So I will be at the meat stock thing in Tampa, but I will not be stepping foot in there.
Okay, well, I'll be at the meat stock thing as well. It's like an evening during that same time block or something, I think.
Yeah, same at the house. Yes.
So I'll see you there for sure.
Cool.
And then maybe we can go get a lift in or something during that time frame too.
I don't want any judging on my form. That's all I'm asking.
Hey, no judgment here. I mean, if you ask for help, I'm happy to give it. If you just want to lift with somebody,
I just want to show you how much I can lift. I'll do like a clean and press, and you'll be like, "Holy Hannah!"
I don't do clean and presses, so you'll probably be out lifting me.
Clean and press. That's like my favorite.
Yeah, you probably put me to shame for sure. I love it.
Thanks again for having me. You're awesome.
Appreciate you, Maria. Think the world of you. Nobody needs to know where to find you because they already do know. But for those that don't, where do they go to look?
Easiest place is ketomaria.com. You can find everything from YouTube all the way on the bottom, those links, or my retreats are there, but ketomaria.com.
Awesome. Well, I'll link it out, make it easy for people to find you. Keep killing it. I'm proud of you, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Tell Crystal, hey.
I'll do it.